That man's a fascist.
It's always fun whenever the promotional material for a movie, the director talking about it always just kind of downplays, or I guess not necessarily downplays, but destroys any interest in the movie, and then they come and backpedal and try to save face on what they meant and this, that, and the other, and then, you know, try to salvage whatever they have. But in this lovely little article, been talking about the Blue Beetle a few times, and the directors come out and said even more things on August 11th. This article from comicbook.com. Blue Beetle's director takes fearless, authentic swing at superheroes. Now, call me curious, but after calling Batman a fascist, what other kind of swing could you take at superhero films? Angel? I'm going to call him Angel. It's probably on, I don't know, Angel. Have I said this already? I probably have. Let's move on. Manuel Soto is the best thing to have happened for the Blue Beetle movie. Really? He probably did more damage to the movie after the first trailer than well, no, Rachel Zegler's done far worse for Snow White than Soto has done for Blue Beetle, but he's done some pretty hefty damage. Not only does Blue Beetle arrive as one of the last titles, that's a good thing, as one of the last titles of the pre-James Gunn and Peter Safran era of the DC Universe. Only Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom still follows. That's another box office bomb in the making. But the film is dropping during an unprecedented strike, which means the writers and actors of the film can no longer promote it. And that honestly might be the best thing for the movie industry right now. At least if they could go back and erase all the things that, I don't know, Rachel Zegler said about Snow White and her experience with that. At least she can't do any more damage. The actors, the actresses, the writers, the directors, they can't do much more damage than they already have. But here we are. Soto, on the other hand, is proudly talking about the film. Oh dear. Let's see what he has to say. Proudly poured his heart and soul into an effort which only elevated the film through his authenticity and fearlessness. Oh, what sort of authenticity could we possibly be talking about? Blue Beetle follows I'm Zolo Meradueña. Meradueña? I believe I got that. Meradueña. As Jamie Reyes, a version of the character from the pages of DC Comics. Duh, of course he's from the pages of DC Comics. Let's see. Connection to the Reyes family. It's a group of characters which emphasizes their ability to overcome difficulties. Yeah. As immigrants. Is this how you're advertising your movie? Not as a superhero movie, but a movie about a family of immigrants. Oh. That might turn people off. They want to see superhero movies. They want to see action. And I will admit, the trailers for the Blue Beetle movie have gotten my inner nerd a little excited. I do like the visuals so far, but remains to be seen what the story is going to be all about. But let's see what Soto says. It's a very personal line in terms of the fact as a Puerto Rican and still being a oh, Jesus Christ. It's a very personal line in terms of the fact that as a Puerto Rican and still being a colony of the United States, very few opportunities are allowed for us to have, and we have to find our own lane. Oh my goodness, here we go again. We have to find our own lane. No, you don't. If you had to find your own lane, Soto, you wouldn't have the job you do. I'm sorry. Nobody's holding you back. If people were holding you back, you would not be a director. You are living proof that what you're saying is not exactly, I don't know, correct. Soto told comicbook.com in an exclusive interview, because of our own situation, I started to develop this concept of trying to be a relentless optimist. Nothing wrong with that, because what else have I got? Well, you have to be optimistic, because otherwise you fall into a fit of depression and go play in traffic. Well, that's a joke. In Minecraft. You go play in Minecraft. What else do I have to lose? Exactly. Nothing. You keep going. You take one foot in front of the other, and you keep going. You get knocked down, I get back up again. You're never going to keep me down. I get no. Oh. Could that get me hit? That was a cover. Very piss poor cover, but a cover nonetheless. I know where I am. I know what's happening. If I don't try, I know that it's always there, so I might as well try and fail on my own. Yeah, okay, that's some pretty good advice, honestly. It's fantastic advice. If you don't try, you're guaranteed to fail. That fearless mentality was applied to Blue Beetle as Soto brought every drop of himself into the film. Oh, okay. Still, he is also echoing the sentiments of filmmakers who have inspired him along the way. I heard Guillermo del Toro once that real freedom comes from being able to fuck up on in your own terms. Okay, so far so good. I was expecting him to say something stupid, but hey, the article's not over yet. He hasn't been very good on Twitter. I think I wanted to try that instead and say, we've dealt with harder things. Oh my lord, you're struggling so much you became a director in Hollywood. Soto weaves authentic Latino culture and experience into his superhero story because that's what everyone wants to see. The problem with this is when you, I guess, cater to a specific demographic. If you go out and promote your movie, go ask Charlie's Angels. If you promote a movie to a specific demographic, but don't ask Rachel's Greta Gerwig. Oof, that was a very bizarre thing. Huh? Lots of women drag their boyfriends and husbands to it. If you come out and specifically promote your movie, your story, TV show, whatever, to a specific group of people only, then you ostracize so many others. I guess maybe it's a little different when it comes to men and women. I guess Barbie was a bit of an anomaly because it tried to cater to all women, and all those women dragged their significant others to the theater. They brought their daughters, and they brought their friends, and people dressed up. I've witnessed it myself. Lots of ladies in pink. It was a sight to behold. But that was essentially 50% of the population, plus probably about 20 to 25% of the male population, because, hey, men do what we have to do in order to please our significant others. But when you target a racial demographic, then you lose out on the others. You run the risk of turning other people away who may have been interested in it, but maybe change their mind and wait for reviews, so the opening weekend box office might not be, as I fumble over my words, might not be as great as you expected or hope it to be. Of course, Blue Beetle is not tracking very well opening weekend. I think it's hoping for a $30 million opening, which is not good at all domestically. Something blockbuster super. Okay, let's start the sentence over. Soto weaves authentic Latino culture and experiences into a superhero story instead of actually putting the superhero in it. Something blockbuster superhero films have neglected to attempt to this point, despite a massive audience existing. Maybe because they want to appeal to the general audience instead of a specific audience. General audiences will get you more money. Unless, of course, you're Barbie. Blue Beetle was an opportunity the cast and crew did not take lightly, becoming a family throughout the journey, as seen in such moments as Soto offering the Jamie Reyes role to Meradueña. Much like this character on screen, Jamie Reyes is quite young in the comics. Okay, so what did he say? We knew a lot of those stuff existed. Character first appeal. We knew a lot of those stuff existed, so we didn't want to use it as a... Okay. The character first appeared in 2005's Infinite Crisis. We knew a lot of those stuff existed. What? Source material? So we didn't want to use it as a reference. Really? Wait. Hold on. Are we doing this again? We have a director of a comic book character who did not want to use the comic books as a reference for the character. Why make the movie at all? If you're not going to use the source material, this is the kind of shit that infuriates comic book fans or any fan of a long, decades-old, established franchise. When a director, showrunner, or whatever comes out and starts running their mouth about, we didn't want to use it as a reference. We just ignored, didn't want Bella Ramsey to play the video game, didn't want John Cena to read any of the comic books, hoping, oh, what's her, the character from the Ahsoka series that's coming out. Apparently, she tried to avoid some of the Rebels series so it wouldn't affect her version of the character. People don't want to see your version. At least the fans may not want to see your version of the character. They want to see the comic book version of the character. They want to see the source material, whether it's a cartoon, video game, or comic book. They want to see that come to life on the screen. That's all the fans want. You want to put your little tweaks in here and there, that's fine. But to sit there and not want to use it at all as a reference, that's just pretty much a slap in the face to all the fans that you're trying to get into the theater. And this is turning into a rant I wasn't expecting it to be. But maybe I spoke too soon. We wanted to actually use... Oh, I'm sorry. Soto said, we wanted to actually use as much as we could from the comics to sort of express what we could express in the film. My apologies. My rant still holds true, though. Too many directors, too many showrunners come out and act like the source material is the plague and they don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. But apparently Soto may be doing something different. In the comics and in the animation, Blue Beetle, he has a mouth, okay? We didn't do the mouth. Wait, that's what you're talking about? The costume? I think the costume for Blue Beetle looks pretty cool, actually. Maybe somebody finds a great way of including the mouth to the Blue Beetle suit, but we didn't. Okay. Soto wanted to have some movement in the face, and the VFX team animated Blue Beetle's eyes and jawline, and the jawline moves when the character speaks in the movie. Okay, so you spent more on the VFX budget than you had to by not including the mouth. That seems inefficient. As for the rest of the DC universe, Soto isn't interested in definitively ruling on details surrounding the events and world of Blue Beetle. Okay, as Gunn and Safran reshape the DC universe to make it their own, Soto is hoping to tell a longer saga. Good luck with that, because your movie's going to unfortunately bomb at the box office. Unless by some miracle it is indeed the greatest movie of all time, and it has some pretty massive legs and staying power. But I don't see that happening. Partially superhero fatigue. It is a thing. Not as much as the mainstream wants to push it as, but it is still a thing, I believe. Not as much as bad writing is a thing. So Soto, if you can manage to get a well-written script, well-acted, well-paced, then who knows? I think we were smart right off the bat into making this a standalone. Okay, good. He leaves it up to the audience or the powers that be. No, it's going to be strictly the audience if this movie makes $1 billion, which it won't. I doubt it. What's the budget on this thing? I got to look that up. I'll look it up tomorrow. The powers that be. Well, yeah, essentially it's the audience that decides. If this movie makes enough money, you'll get a sequel. But it has to make enough money. On the heels of Henry Cavill being recast for David Corenswet, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, a lot of fans will disagree with that. We would have liked to have seen a decent, Superman movie, Truth, Justice, and the American Way, instead of the dour, tragic, dystopian Superman that we got. Of course, conversations happen because of the way cultures are shifting in terms of superheroes. Everybody needs to belong to a clique. What are you talking about? Although that is a promise that can happen, we wanted to give this first movie a proper introduction to just Jamie Reyes and his family. Nobody's going to be interested in the family, like I said, unless you knock it out of the park. So what did he have to say? Authentic swing? What was the swing? It was pretty, just a bunt, maybe. I've enjoyed, oh God, here we go again. I've enjoyed all the white superhero movies. I enjoyed them. I connect. They don't have to be from my culture. I enjoyed Shang-Chi. I enjoyed Black Panther. There's no problem. Don't be afraid. We are here to connect, man. Why does everything have to be politicized? Why can't you just make a movie and say, hey, I made this movie. I hope you enjoy it. instead of, hey, I made this movie to showcase this culture. I made this movie to show this representation. I made this movie. Just make the movie. How about that? Just make the movie. Make the movie. Let the audience decide if you deserve to make another one, if there deserves to be a sequel. In order to do that, you need good writing instead of checkbox pandering promotion interviews like this. I don't know. Am I wrong? Let me know what you think in the comments. This didn't really look like a big old swing. Maybe it's just because he wanted it to be a standalone movie. Oh well, let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike. Are you looking forward to this movie? Do you think this is going to make its budget back? Probably $150 million box office budget, promotional material. Hey, they don't have to worry about paying actors and actresses to go out on the road and do interviews, although that's probably part of their contractual obligation, which they're not contractually obliging right now because of the strike. Do you even care about the strike? How many tangents can we get on to at the last minute of the video? Anyway, I appreciate you making it this far. Are you looking forward to this movie? Let me know in the comments. Have a good one.